Here at City Hall, where Phoenix Mayor Greg Stanton joins Cronkite News in preparation for tonight's NCAA basketball championship. Now, we've seen the streets of Phoenix and the Phoenix area be packed with people, the events leading up to the Final Four itself, and now obviously going into tonight. But how have things gone from a preparation standpoint, maybe your expectations compared to the reality of it?
Well, it's been a great weekend, and the preparations have gone very well, but the truth is, this isn't our first rodeo. As you know, we hosted the best Super Bowl in Super Bowl history 2 years ago in our community. Last year, the College Football Championship. This year, Final Four, utilizing generally the same model. The game occurs in Glendale at University of Phoenix Stadium. Most of the fan activity, concerts and big parties, etc., happen in downtown Phoenix. So we've got this pretty well down to a science. We had a record-breaking weekend in downtown Phoenix. Hundreds of thousands of people on the streets, not only for the music festival, the fan fest, but lots of other great activities that were happening. If you're a baseball fan, Diamondbacks game, Suns, Rattlers. If you love the symphony had a great performance of the music of the Rolling Stones. Herberger Theater was busy. This is what a real city looks and feels like, with the energy on the streets. And the real hero of the situation are police officers, firefighters, Homeland Security officials, because the planning and logistics that go into protecting all of those events, and they do so in such a good way. The planning and logistics is really incredible, and it came off without a hitch.
Now, as it relates to the Final Four and the NCAA championship in particular, what's been the biggest challenge for you in this process?
The challenge in this process, we love to host these big events. We like to be the #1 host city in the United States of America with the best hospitality. It's not inexpensive. I mean, you've got to be willing to marshal the resources to be willing to host events like this. And it raises a lot of money. There's no doubt about it. The Super Bowl is close to $1 billion. Last year with the College Football Championship, this year Final Four, hundreds of millions of dollars. There's also long-term benefits. Last night I was in it with a dinner with a lot of business executives that are either have or be looking to move business operations to Phoenix. They're here because of the Final Four, and they're utilizing an opportunity to go visit many potential locations for business growth. That's a long-term economic benefit to the community, but you still have to explain to people why it's a good investment to invest in hosting mega events like the Final Four.
So Phoenix has been on an unprecedented run of 3 straight years in which some championship for a sporting event has been hosted here. The Super Bowl, the College Football Playoff National Championship, and now this. And you touched on some of the economic benefits, but I guess from a reputation standpoint, what is that 3-year stretch meant to Phoenix?
Well, yesterday morning, on a Sunday morning, I was interviewed by a Chinese television station reaching, obviously, the country of China, the world's most populous city. Those opportunities only come to build that brand, that reputation, when you host mega events, events of the highest magnitude. But you can't just host them. You got to host them well. And that's exactly what we do here in Phoenix. Talk to the NFL, talk to College Football Championship, talk to the folks at the NCAA. They will tell you that there is no better prepared, hungrier city, if you will, to host these events that does a better job than the city of Phoenix and the surrounding communities. And I should make that point as well. Look, the teams and most of the fans are staying in downtown Phoenix. The biggest parties are in downtown Phoenix, including 30,000 people last night watching Aerosmith at Hants Park. But we can only do it in partnership with our sister communities. City of Glendale, obviously most prominently, because that's where the games are being played. City of Scottsdale hosts a lot of great events. Tempe is a host committee partner as well. So cities working together with the Sheriff's Office, with Arizona DPS, and federal law enforcement authorities. That's the only way we can make these events as successful as possible, is true regional partnership, but the community should expect nothing less.
So the question that it begs is, what's next into the future for Phoenix?
Well, if you can host events of the highest magnitude, sporting events, it also begets other mega event opportunity. There is no doubt in my mind that our community will be the host of either the Democratic political convention or the Republican political convention over the next few years. We've shown that we can host massive crowds, and we can do logistics, and we can do safety as well, if not better, than anyone. So I expect that not just sporting opportunities, although we're going to continue to chase after those because they're great and they're a lot of fun and they bring in a lot of good business, but we're also going to try to take on the biggest conventions that the business community has to offer, and political conventions as well.
So with the basketball being the main event tonight, North Carolina against Gonzaga, let's end on a basketball note, because in 1993, you were a law student at Michigan, and in 1993, Michigan played North Carolina in the championship and lost. What are your recollections from that time?
I'm still trying to figure out what exactly was Chris Webber thinking when he called that phantom timeout. What the heck? It still burns me to this day. I could have been at school for a national championship team. In all seriousness, he's a college kid. By the way, college kids do dumb things, and we all do. And so we expect these people on the basketball court to be on top of everything. The truth is, they're college kids trying the best that they can. It's a lot of fun. I have great memories when I personally was at law school and Michigan was an awesome basketball team, and I used to sleep out, believe it or not, with a tent to get into the Chrysler Arena so I could see the Fab Five play basketball, just like so many people. That's one of the reasons why the Final Four is arguably the best sporting event that we have to offer. The drama, the action, it's so emotional when these kids lose. I mean, for most of them, a couple of them may make the NBA, but the vast majority, this is the last game that they're ever going to play in their life. They've worked so hard to get to this point, so everyone can understand that drama. And we all have great memories of previous NCAA championships and Final Fours, just like I do when Michigan lost to North Carolina.
Now, were you in attendance in 1993 for that championship game?
I had a ticket for reasons that, I thought I had to stay home and study at school. So I gave it to my buddies. They got to go to New Orleans to watch that Final Four. I think they hawked my ticket on the street, so they spent some quality time on Bourbon Street having a good time. I missed it, and you know what? They ended up with better grades than me anyway. I stayed home for all the wrong reasons. I wish I had gone. I will always regret that. So this actually is my first Final Four that I personally will be able to attend.
Well, we appreciate the time, Mayor Stanton, and thank you for joining us. Reporting in Phoenix for Cronkite News, I'm Jake Garcia.